good afternoon or good morning. It's fantastic to have you. I'm really happy to be hosting this first LinkedIn Live where I'm with Gurjodhpal Singh, our India CEO. Thank you so much for being with us today, Gurjodh. How are you doing?
Very well. Thanks, Val, and very happy to be here and interacting with you and all our audience.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I can see a lot of you are joining us live. Fantastic. I see hello, hi from everyone. It's live. It's working in live. Thank you all for, confirming that we are live and that this is working for all of you. Fantastic. So as a lot of you know, we announced at the beginning of the year that we were launching in India. So fantastic, very exciting step for Tide. And, really excited to be here with Gurjodh today so he can tell you more about how he's going to lead the launch there in India, how he's going to lead the team, his vision for the team and our launch there, but also, your thoughts on the fintech industry in India. And very importantly, as you know, this is a live, so please do take this opportunity to ask all your questions. We'll try to take as many questions as possible at the end, in about 20 minutes. So please do continue to, put on all your questions. I'm seeing hi from India, hi from Oz. I guess this is Australia. Amazing. We have watcher from all over the world. So this is great. Let's start with a bit of a background question, Gurjodh. We'd love to know, what you studied and what was your first job?
Well, I did computer science engineering, and post that I went for MBA at IIM Ahmedabad. So by education, I am trained on technology and financial services. And, as an extension to that, my first two jobs were with Angel Capital, which is one of the top brokerages in India. And the other one was with Bank Bazaar, which is, arguably the first fintech in India. So in both my, in both these organizations, I, got the opportunity to see firsthand how, businesses use technology to deliver financial services to a large number of customers, and using technology to deliver superior and better experiences to customers. So my education and my early experience in these two amazing organizations, I think, helped me build my view or vision, which is to use technology to deliver financial services.
And these are the first steps in your career, right? This was the very foundation. Let's, fast forward a tiny bit. What I wanted to ask you and to share with the audience today is, what's the biggest challenge you've faced in your career?
So, very good question, and it takes me back to 2013. When in India we were in pre-Aadhaar stack days. So there, as I was setting up payments business, SME-focused payments business at PayU, we brought in the first product in India market, which had 100% digital onboarding experience for SMEs. So we built out a product which enabled a SME to start collecting payments digitally within a few minutes. And this was a first in the market in pre-Aadhaar stack days. So it was a hard problem to solve. We worked with a bunch of players in the ecosystem to build out the technology which could, deliver this digital onboarding experience. And that's something, I enjoyed a lot. And I think that's something which gave us a lot of head start in the market, and something I'm quite proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a fantastic achievement. I guess this is also linking back into the whole fintech industry, right? So why were you, why did you decide to pursue a career in that industry?
So, it was a time when it was a very, very new industry, but I saw, huge opportunity and huge scope for innovation. And, India was warming up to technology and financial services. Internet businesses were seeing good traction. The internet penetration was increasing by the day. So, I felt that this is a sector which would have huge scope and potential going forward. And hence I decided to focus on this segment in my career. And I was, I believe, fortunate to get an opportunity to work with PayU, which has done some amazing work in the Indian fintech ecosystem. And I got the opportunity to start a business focused on SMEs from scratch there, and spent close to 8 years in that organization. All that I think was quite fruitful because we solved some really challenging problems. But while doing that, we delivered a lot from an ecosystem standpoint. Other thing which is personally important to me is that the work that you do, how does it impact the ecosystem as such, the economy as such. So I believe fintech and taking financial services to a number of consumers, be it individual customers or SMEs. I think that brings in a lot of impact on society as such, and it acts as enabler for a lot of businesses. So from that standpoint, it is something which gives me a lot of professional satisfaction as well.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned the SMEs, right, and the importance of supporting those, helping them, digitize their business. And so, and I think this is the whole mission of Tide, right, helping SMEs save time and money, and just help them spend less time doing business admin, just because they didn't start their business to spend time on that. So we were very excited to announce the launch in India. And you recently wrote in an article for the Banking and Finance Post that India is the right market for many global fintechs to start their international journey, as we truly boast immense potential for growth. So can you tell us more about your role as Tide India CEO, and what you want to achieve in it, what you're passionate about achieving in this role?
So as an organization, as Tide aspires to add value to around 25% SMEs world over. So from that standpoint, India becomes important with the sheer size of the market. We aspire to, as a business focused on SMEs in India, we aspire to play an important role in digitization of SMEs. I believe that would be amazing enablement for the sector as such. We would be, delighted to add value and help digitize millions of SMEs in India. We are a platform where we bring in, all the financial and admin services on one platform, which essentially would help and add a lot of value to SMEs as they digitize. From a business standpoint, we are an organization which is which is highly data driven. So essentially, that helps us bring in the best experience which the market wants, right? And we are a one platform and one tech stack company, which helps us bring the best experience to SMEs of various regions or various countries of the world. Because at the core of it, I believe the needs of SMEs are very similar, and SMEs as such are a segment which are highly underserved. And you need to make a good business out of it. You need to do this at scale, and I believe that can only be done through technology. So fintech business focused on SMEs by the very nature of scale and efficient delivery is poised to disrupt and add a lot of value. As an organization, another thing that that we focus on is the member first approach, where we keep our SME, the end customer of our product, at center of every decision that we take. And the other piece which I want to highlight is that we try to empower our team, because that drives a lot of ownership. And if you are looking to create a change, if you're looking to create an experience which will really add value to the end customer and is member first, I believe that enablement goes a long way in ensuring that everybody actually owns the end customer problem, and tries to solve it together as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Collaboration is entirely key, and also having teams globally. We have teams here in the UK, but also obviously in India and also in Bulgaria, and I think it's been fantastic to see the collaboration between the team, and as you said, being empowered to work together and own every team's own project. I think has been incredibly powerful. And talking about the team, we are a global team, and I wanted to touch base on how we're supporting Tidans. That's how we refer to Tide employees internally. How do we support our colleagues in India to overcome the COVID crisis?
We are in the middle of a second wave in India, and those things have stabilized now. But over last 1 month, we've seen some very difficult time as a nation. Specifically from our team standpoint, I believe Tide has kept the team's well-being at the core during this time. So we set up a central support line for all our team members, whatever support they needed for themselves or their family or extended family who were impacted. So our central support desk tried to do their best to support people who were in various cities and trying to get the required care for them or their themselves or their loved ones. Having said that, we also did focused effort on ensuring that our employee insurance programs were in line with covering the costs of COVID related expenses that people had to incur. We ran a program, where we helped people care about the dependents. So there are a lot of employees who are, who are the main caregivers in their families. So we extended them, the support which we could, be it in terms of, helping them get access to medical facilities, or through our insurance coverage. We also had a special leave policy in place where no questions are asked. People could take leave to take care of their family or themselves. So I think with all these and with a lot of strength, I think we are coming out of it. Happy to share that most of our team members, have recovered or are on path to recovery, whoever were impacted. And I see excellent collaboration, because we have teams in different places in the world. So as team in India was impacted, the teams in London and Bulgaria, they stood up and took a lot of load off from our teammates, and which underlines our one team culture that we have at Tide, and that helped and went a long way in supporting the Indian colleagues in coping with the situation on the ground. Along with this, I would be very very glad to share that Tide has made contribution of £100,000 to UNICEF, where UNICEF was and has been bringing supplies to India which relate to immediate care. So UNICEF works closely with with governments, and it has the network which could ensure that supplies globally could reach India. So we contributed to that cause as well.
Thank you so much, Gurjodh. I think it's exactly as you said, the collaboration that we've seen amongst our team, just coming together to make sure we face the crisis together has been really just showing once again, as you were saying, that one team value, which has been really great to be seeing so much collaboration between our teams, and it's fantastic to know that things are stabilizing and are getting better. It looks like it's the same for the economy, right? Things are stabilizing. Things are the economy is recovering, and it's starting. So as tech has been more widely adopted than ever within that crisis. What I wanted to ask you as a next question, and I can see in the comments actually, I think someone also asked this question. So fantastic. There's some synergy in the audience and our questions. But where do you see the fintech space in 5 years' time in India?
Well, the fintech sector as such, has seen good growth over last few years, and there is a lot of interest and traction from all over the world. India fintech has been able to get the kind of funding, the kind of attraction which it which it gives out. It's amazing because of the sheer size of the market. But we do have a long way to go. There are parts of fintech which have where a lot of work has happened over last few years. So specifically, payments. With penetration of internet increasing, and with all the effort which players in the ecosystem have done, there is now a decent infrastructure around payments. Digital payments are the way in which every Indian pays now, and that goes into contributing to economy in a long way. Now, having said that, there are other parts of fintech ecosystem which would see significant growth in years to come, and I believe the regulator and the ecosystem as such is geared towards it. There are a lot of effort. There is a lot of effort happening on assisting people get access to credit, be it individuals, be it SMEs. There is a lot of focus on neo banking. There is a lot of focus on digitizing the even post Aadhaar stack, digitizing the overall KYC process. And digitizing all the taxation and related items for SMEs. Now, if you look at the way regulator has gone, over last 1 year, even through the pandemic, things have been very positive. There is a clear indication that month on month, quarter on quarter, regulator is bringing out pieces or introducing pieces which are giving push towards digitization, and which are enabling fintech players like ourselves to deliver more value and ensure that financial services reach to a larger set of people. Now, having said that, the existing traditional system, the banks, the NBFCs, the schemes, they have also been very open, and they have collaborated with the fintechs to enable fintechs to do things that they cannot do in the traditional side of the things. So both these things together are a huge positive. If you look at the way video KYC was allowed last year by RBI. This year they have followed it up with by extending it from individuals to sole proprietors. The regulations which have strengthened PPIs. So all these signal towards belief that the regulator has that digital players would help the ecosystem deliver financial services to the last mile. And I believe that is the way to go, by sheer virtue of using technology, by sheer virtue of focus on solving problems use case by use case. This gives fintechs a lot of advantage in delivering something to the end customer at a very efficient cost, and delivering an experience which is quite convenient. So overall, fintech is very well placed. And I believe the other good piece which regulator ensures, that in India there has never been a scenario where a large bank or any large financial services company has successfully created walled gardens like WeChat or Tencent did in China, right? So from that standpoint, it is a very collaborative ecosystem. It is a very competitive ecosystem, and there is space for multiple players to thrive at the same time. So together, the ecosystem will take a lot of positive strides, and I believe regulator would ensure that we move in the right direction at the right pace. And we would, if we look back 3 5 years down the line, if we look back, I think we would have accomplished a lot on fintech, which would be very similar to what we have accomplished over last 5 years.
It sounds like a really exciting time and a lot to be looking forward to.
Yes.
In terms of, we're talking about a bit about the future here, right? So another thing I wanted to ask you is the fintech industry has been known to disrupt, right, the market. So what is the biggest innovation you'd want to see in the ecosystem?
So quite a few. I think first and foremost, we need to cover a lot of ground on open banking as such. So neobanks and traditional banks have to collaborate and ensure that we build out the rails for open banking. It is quite advanced in the West, and India has a lot of catch up to do there. So that's one piece which I would expect the ecosystem to work on in the immediate term. Other than that, I believe use of blockchain and real time data ledger technology. I think all these new age technologies, we need to use these to help manage the fraud and risk, to make the overall ecosystem more robust and secure. Other than this, the concept of open free money, right? Coins which could be transferred across countries, across currencies. I think that would be a good change, because the millennial segment in India is quite mobile, right? Though we have been in the pandemic over last 1.5 years, but as things open up, the Indian millennial is quite mobile and would need these kind of products to be at par in terms of investing or spending globally. So we need to enable those set of people to be global citizens, and without doing these pieces, we would not be able to serve them. Last is, how do you bring credit to a larger set of users, right? Use of alternate data, use of machine learning and AI in underwriting the customers as well as SMEs. I think that's very important. There is so as they say, India is a pyramid, and there is a Australia at top of India, and the traditional sector has done very well to serve that top few percent of customers. But how do you take credit to people beyond that? Who gives your first credit line? So all these questions could be solved by use of alternative data, by looking at pragmatic ways of underwriting. And I believe fintechs will have to play an important role in solving these problems in the ecosystem. And I think there lies the big opportunity that India is.
Absolutely. And once again, a lot to be looking forward to, and a lot that is going to happen in the coming months and years, right? And I think if we have that same conversation, probably in 5 years' time, we will have a very different ecosystem and a very different set of questions. But for now as well, what I wanted to ask you is that in terms of innovation, what are you hoping to see and create and introduce at Tide?
See, Tide is the top SME focused challenger bank in UK, right? And we have close to 6% market share now in UK, which is amazing, and which essentially also means that the platform that we bring to the SMEs actually solves real, needs, or solves a problem statement for SMEs. So our intention is to bring similar experience to 64 million Indian SMEs. Over next 3 to 5 years, we aspire to serve close to 500,000 SMEs in India. We are making a lot of effort to bring in the pieces of platform which could be used as such in India. But there are certain Indian specific things which we need to build out on. For example, the GST taxation in India is quite unique. The UPI stack of India is quite unique. So Indianizing, those features. But overall, our philosophy is that of one platform, one stack. So we would be using the best of technology, and bring one global platform to various markets. And India is first of many such markets. Along with that, I believe the other piece which Tide, which is very important from an India standpoint for Tide, is that India has amazing talent on technology, product, and fintech as such. So hence we now have one of our larger development centers in Hyderabad, where we have more than 200 technology and product people who work on our global stack. So this also underlines the fact that Indian fintech ecosystem has come a long way, and there are the kind of talent which is available in the India market on technology and product is world class, and that's something which we are trying to leverage, and hence we are building out our team in Hyderabad, which will grow over the months to come as well. So that's broadly our plan for India. The aspiration, as I said, is to help the SMEs digitize, to ensure that we bring best platform, best financial services and admin platform to the Indian SMEs.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gurjodh. We have loads of questions already, so I'm going to jump in those, just because also you just mentioned the team, and that we have loads of open roles, and we are looking to grow the team massively in the coming weeks and months. So I can see, I'm looking at the comments at the same time. I can see there's a lot of question about many of you applied for roles and haven't heard back from the team yet. So there's a lot of open roles right now and a lot of fantastic application. The team is really working through them as fast as possible. So you will hear back from us, but there is a lot at the moment. Let's maybe take another question. So there's one about, okay, I'm going to read it. India has over 60 million SMEs, and there is a large scope of business for fintech, especially, and it's very clear with increasing digitization. As a growing fintech, what are the challenges coming your way, and what is the roadmap to overcome?
Very good question. Thanks for asking that. I believe any fintech which is serving SMEs, one of the major challenges that has to be overcome is how do you ensure that you serve this SME efficiently with use of technology at a cost which makes your overall unit economics positive. So as I said earlier, right, SMEs as a segment are quite underserved. But why is that? It is because the models with which people try to bring financial services to larger corporates, those models are quite cost intensive, and those are not replicable when you start serving a SME. Now that is a challenge which we would need to solve for, as we scale in India. We need to bring services and experiences with the use of technology at a cost which ensures that the overall business is positive as such. So that's a major challenge. The other challenges are around reach and ensuring that that the Indian SME uses a DIY platform, right? So how do you ensure that your product or your experience is such that it's very seamless and adds value to the end SME? So these are few core challenges from a SME standpoint, which we would look to solve for as we start scaling our business in India.
Fantastic, thank you. And there's another great question that I'm going to show on screen right now. So many Indian fintech are doing the same thing, and how do you differentiate yourself in the market?
So good question. So at the core of our strategy is bringing a financial services platform to SMEs. So today there are a number of players in the market who are solving different problems for SMEs, and they are quite deep and doing very well on one of those fronts. Be it there are some players who are doing good at acquiring, there are some players who are doing say good at invoicing solution or a ledger solution, etc. Whereas we have a platform which could, on one platform, we bring a bunch of things which a SME needs to, set up his business, digitize his business, and run his business. So from that standpoint, I believe, we would have a strategic, edge over players in the competition. But having said that, all these players who have done well in solving one problem are trying to broad base, and many of them have raised significant capital and are focusing on those. So definitely there is decent competition in the market. But having said that, right, it's a huge market. There are around 64 million SMEs in India, and as I mentioned earlier, there is scope for multiple players to thrive. It's not a winner take it all market. One. And second, I believe there is a lot of scope to collaborate. It's not just with banks or with internet businesses serving SMEs, but also with fintech serving SMEs, because there are various problems which various organizations solve well, and we are firm believers of collaboration, and we would collaborate in the ecosystem to bring the best platform to our SMEs.
Fantastic. And I can see another viewer ask, why should a customer choose Tide over other neobanks? I think, Gurjodh, you answered this already, but what he asked as well is, what do they ask? Do you have any specific industries of SME you want to focus on or be gearing towards?
Okay, so one of the categories which we serve very well in the UK and we intend to focus on in India are the ones who are moving from unorganized to becoming an organized player. So that's one segment where we add and bring in a lot of value, and we intend to focus on. And then then there are categories of SMEs who are into service industry, and typically they are one person shop. They have few people assisting them, but they would definitely not have a finance department to do their accounting, to do their taxation. Now this is a category we focus on, so that how do we help this SME do things very seamlessly, so that we save time, time and money for the SME, and give him time back, which he could use to do what he does very well, which is his core business, and earn more. So these are at a higher level the categories which we would focus on starting out in India.
Sounds great. We hope this answer the two question asked. There is another one saying a major legacy bank in the UK currently says it will take 4 weeks to open a new business account. Is this driving more customer to Tide and other digital options? Great question from John.
Yes, very relevant question, and bang on you've hit the nail on its head. So absolutely, that's our core proposition. So as I said, serving SMEs is very different from serving corporates. I believe the traditional bank structure is built out in a way where it is serving corporates well, but it's not built out for SMEs. And hence, if you take weeks to open accounts, you may not be the preferred service provider to a SME. It's one of our core strengths in the UK market, and we intend to replicate a similar strategy and a similar product in India market. And this would be one of our core propositions, going out to the SMEs.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Gurjodh. Let's see if we have another question, maybe one last. I know we are overrunning. We started slightly late because of the technical issue, but let's take one more. What are your expectations from regulator in India? Any wish list? Fantastic question.
Yes. Oh, we have a long wish list, but but when we talk about a regulator, right? We need to understand that a regulator has a very complex job at their hand, and they need to do things in a phased manner, right? So my immediate term expectations from regulator are to give more push towards digital KYC as such, right, which the regulator is already doing, but there are bunch of things which we should do so that a person is able to access any kind of financial product from wherever he is, if he is connected to a good internet connection. So that's an important thing. I think the other pieces, and I believe that regulator should come out with this in few quarters, is their clear policy around neo banking, and helping set up clear rails around open banking. So with UPI, I think there is an amazing step taken to do that in terms of payments, right? So you could get UPI handle from any financial institution and link bank account from any financial institution to it, which is such a pragmatic thing to do. So similarly, right, the next step in terms of open banking is very important, where you as a consumer could make the best use of all the banking data that you have, and you could have that at click of a button, and you could choose to provide it to whoever you want at click of a button, right? And similarly, having clear regulatory guidelines around neo banking, I think that would help us accelerate the agenda. That would help give more clarity to traditional banks, to schemes, to NBFCs on how to engage with fintechs and neobanks. So that's immediate few things which I expect the regulator and the ecosystem to work on in few quarters.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Gurjodh. I think lots of exciting stuff coming up for Tide, the fintech industry globally in India. But I think this is very exciting, and we will tell you more for all of those of you watching us live and potentially watching us after this live. We will be sharing more news about setting up in India, when our first members of the first SMEs will be able to start opening accounts with us. So that's very exciting. We've mentioned it, and we're getting a lot of questions about this, but we have a lot of open positions. So if you're interested in joining our team, we'd love to have you get in touch. So yes, thank you again so much, Gurjodh, for being live with us today and answering all your questions. Fantastic to have you.
No, thanks for having me, and it was amazing to engage with such good set of audience. So amazing answering these questions, and we look forward to engage with you as part of ecosystem. And if you want to apply for any of the positions, please do. If you work with a fintech or a bank and you want to collaborate with us, please do reach out. And we have amazing thing coming for India market. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you again for being all live with us today. We really appreciate it. Watch out on our LinkedIn and other social media pages. We'll have more live coming soon, and we hope to see you then. Thank you so much, and have a great day or evening. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.